So welcome back. So for this session we're going to be looking at the user management screen. So you literally just click on the user management screen and it would bring up the following screen. Obviously when you're logged in it would only bring up your associated companies. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the creating a user, because the idea is you're going to be going into dealerships and body shops and getting all of the employees set up as a user so that they can log into Beacon to one, refer claims, and two, review claims that are on the system. You're also wanting to give key members of staff access so that they can set up new users. So with the idea that if anyone new joins their business, instead of yourselves having to go directly into the dealership just to get them logged into Beacon, they can do it themselves. So all you would do is click on Create User in the top right hand corner. The first thing you're then wanting to do is select the role. So there's 3 roles that you can select from. So account manager, that is yourselves. We've got admin, which is IT, and we've got user. So this is what you're going to be using for all of the companies that refer to Accident Exchange. So I'm just going to select user and wait for that to load. My system is a little bit slow just because I am logged in as an admin today. So all of the information it's pulling through is for every company that refers to Accident Exchange. Okay. Primary, and then it says select primary company. So this is the company that they work for and they're going to be referring claims to Accident Exchange on behalf of. As you scroll through, you'll see that all of them are in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to choose Aberdeen Audi. Let's wait for that to load. Okay, then what you can do is if it's an existing member of staff that already refers to Accident Exchange, you can select from the drop down and select their name. So I'm just going to choose Chloe Irvine. That would then populate her name and surname. If it was a new member of staff that you were searching for or you was adding on, you wouldn't select from the drop down and you'd just manually enter their details. Now you'll notice that their email address and position haven't automatically been filled in. And the reason we don't want that to happen is because we're wanting you to manually get the staff to enter their email and their job position, just because the data that we hold our back office is quite outdated. So anything that we might already have on these people may not be factually correct now. What we'll do is enter the details here and that will automatically refresh any information we hold on Chloe within back office. So I'm going to just add an email address for her. Okay, I'm going to put her position as a receptionist. You've then got associated companies. So this is, say, for example, Chloe worked for Aberdeen Audi Monday to Thursday, but on a Friday she worked for Dundee Audi. You could then double click on the associated company to get them added on. It is important to point out that every time Chloe refers a claim to Accident Exchange, by default it will always come from Aberdeen Audi, and we can't change that because Aberdeen Audi is where she predominantly works for. You then come down to the permissions that you're wanting to give the members of staff. So if you're wanting them to refer claims to Accident Exchange, you want to give them the access to use or allow to register a claim, and all you do is double click on it and it would get their permissions. So then you'd want them to give them access to your choice, so they could log in to see if there's any incentives. Let's say, for example, we wanted them give them power so that they could review the claims that they'd registered with us. So we'd give them access to the hire and the F&O dashboard. And then it gives you the last 2 options. So allow to manage primary company users. So by giving that power, it means that Chloe would then be able to set up new users for Aberdeen Audi, but she'd also be able to review users' logins and log in as them as well. So apologies, not login as them, but can mirror them so can see what claims that they have access to, what they've referred, etc. So I'm not going to give her access to them. You've then got the second one, which is allowed to manage associated companies. So that's how, for example, she'd work for Dundee Audi one day a week, and we wanted to give her that option. To then register the user, you just press submit. that would then load through. We'll just wait for that to load. And then what it would then do is send Chloe an email with a login link to Beacon with a test password. And then from that, she could then log in. And it would then take you back to this screen if you wanted to add any of the users. So that's how you add a user. We're now going to look at the user management screen in a little bit more detail. So what I'm going to do is click on user management and wait for this to load. Okay, so if I start at the top, we've got a search box. So what you can search in here is the referrer, the dealership, you know, any kind of accounts that you're looking for as well. In the top left hand corner, you've got the entries, so entries that you want to see by page. If you're only wanting to see 10, you can select 10, or you've got 25, 50 or 100. And then if you scroll down to the bottom, you've got the pages that you can log through if you're looking in more detail. Then if we wanted to click on someone, if we click action, we've got the edit user tab. So if I click on edit user, just wait for this to load up. This would then take me back through to the user page, and then what you could then do is change their role, their primary company, their name, email, position, if they work for any associated companies, and what permissions that you're wanting to give them as well. So if I go back to the user management screen, bear with me, it's been a little bit slow. Okay, and then if I go to action, you can also disable the account. So let's say, for example, they had left the business, or you didn't want them to have access to Beacon, you could press disabled. But what you can also do is give them, you can activate it at any time by just clicking activate account. Then the last thing I'm going to do is show you how to impersonate a user. So for the Hire in the F&O dashboard, we're going to be using JCT 600. If I put in JCT 600, it will bring me through with all the referrers that deal with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror Sam Tordoff. So all I'd go is to action, impersonate user, and then that would bring me into his screen and what he would see if we log in. So we've got the dashboard, the Hire F&O, the claimed listings as well. So we'll go through that in a little bit more detail in the next section. So that's everything for now. Thanks very much. Goodbye.